Hello, welcome back to Cascadia Inswinger. I'm John Floresca here with my co-host Eddie Smith, and today we're going to be talking about the Seattle Sounders and their trip down to the San Jose Earthquake to play on Sunday. And this is the first time these two teams have faced since the 7-1 annihilation back on September 10th. So if you're looking at that scoreline from a month and a half ago, you're leaning heavily in Seattle's favor. San Jose went on a run of like three straight losses, or three or four losses there, where they were losing by three to seven goals. I know Portland crushed them by 6. We crushed them 7-1. They were just getting beat up all over the place. Since then, San Jose has turned it on a little bit, and they actually won 4 of their last 6 games. They went on a 3-game winning streak before losing one last week. And so this is a slightly different San Jose team. Eddie, should we expect another Seattle Sounders crushing of the Earthquake?
No, it's definitely gonna be closer. Rui Diaz is still out. I want to mention something about him. I'm gonna wait till later in the show, but Rui Diaz is still out, so that's already taken away some of your firepower. So you're now relying heavily on Morris and Ladero and Bruin up top. Bruin again, a great uh, forward in a backup situation, but not as good as Rui Diaz, obviously. Um, so it's definitely going to be a closer match. It's in San Jose, so you're also looking at on the road. I'm just hoping that we don't see another um, LAFC incident where it almost looks like the Sounders don't care, and uh, then San Jose rolls over them. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think Seattle will come out ready to play. Um, and I do see Seattle still getting the victory in this one.
Yeah, well, Seattle did get some much needed rest. They looked sluggish in that LAFC game, but they didn't play midweek because the Colorado game was postponed. So they got some time off. So hopefully we get fresh legs. Hopefully Jordan Morris is ready to run. Christian Roldan is ready to run. All these players that have been running so hard for the last few weeks. You mention no Rui Diaz. I'm going to mention the fact that there is no Gustav Svensson, because I actually think that is a bigger problem. I have been really impressed with Bruins' play up top. I do not like the way Brian Schmetzer has handled not having Svensson in the middle. And here is why. Oh, wait, no, not Svensson. Svensson will be there, right?
He's on international duty.
Yeah, okay, so he is on international duty. So, but basically, because of the lack of not having Svensson, he's put Jordy DeLemon, and I keep texting my friends and my soccer buddies that the Jordy DeLem experiment has failed. Stop putting Jordy DeLem in the middle. We know exactly what we're going to get out of him. Put Christian Roldan in the middle. He gives you a more solid midfield, and give a young guy a shot out on the wing. Give Atencio a shot to play this game. Put Handwalla Buana out there. I'm going to preach it now on the show. It's not going to happen. You can expect to see Jordy DeLem again, and I'm going to be frustrated as before. But that's the main reason why I don't think we will see a 7-1 annihilation, not because of Rui Diaz.
Yeah, I can agree with you. I mean, it's not always up front. Everything I feel, uh, usually leading up to goals, I feel starts with your defense going through your midfield and then up to your strikers. And Delem, I agree with you. I have not been very impressed with him. Um, as you know, I'm not very impressed with Nuhu either. He has gotten better, but I feel the same way about both of them. Like you could ship them off, and I would not feel upset.
Yeah, I like Nuhu, so I'm not going to get into that argument. Getting back to San Jose, let's give them some airtime here. They are playing a little bit better. They're coming off a 4-0 win against their rivals, the LA Galaxy. They still play man-to-man marking. They really haven't changed anything since the last time Seattle faced them. The only difference is they're playing better. So we can expect to see it more of the same man marking across the field, uh, hitting on counters. One thing that I would like to note is that the Cascadia Killer, as we have dubbed him, Chris Wondolowski, isn't having that successful of a season. He actually only has 2 goals on the year, and maybe he needs to get going. Maybe now's his time. We'll see about that. Eddie, what are your thoughts on Chris Wondolowski? You think he's getting ready to pack it in? I know his retirement buzz has been up there. He is the MLS goal scoring king, so we can't do a show about San Jose and not talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, he may or may not play a factor in scoring a goal against the Sounders. Um, I don't know. He he hasn't really done much, I feel, this season. Um, that being said, it is his retirement year, or maybe his
I
retirement year,
suppose his retirement year.
unless he comes back next year to just say bye to the fans. But um, yeah, he's not really been impressing me. That being said, it is a Cascadia match for him, and so that threat of being the Cascadia killer is always out there. I think he might get an assist in this match, but I don't think he's scoring a goal.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you my score line, and then you tell me yours. I've got Seattle getting a much needed shutout. Steve Zakuani noted in his recent post on MLS that the Sounders have only had 2 or 3 shutouts all season so far, and that's their biggest concern is they're not getting any zeros. And Stefan Fry's definitely not happy about that. It's not looking good upon his statistics. There has been a few unlucky breaks. I mean, they had a Nuhu own goal, which ended a shutout. They had a really bad PK call against the Whitecaps that ended a shutout. So I know that they're looking to get back on the defensive side of things. So maybe we expect them to, instead of going for a 7-1 victory, maybe we expect them to aim for a 2-0, 3-0 victory, which actually is going to be my scoreline. I'm going to say 2-0 Seattle Sounders.
One thing I want to ask you is, as far as the defense goes, Arriaga is still out on international duty. He just actually was a big factor in helping his country get a victory over Uruguay. Um, but with Arriaga out, do you think we're going to see O'Neal again in the back line, or do you think Torres gets a start at being a starter again for Seattle?
I would love to say Roman Torres. I would love to say it. I don't know if Schmetzer's ready to give him starting minutes yet. Um, so I'm going to say O'Neal, but hopefully I'm proven wrong because I would love to see Torres.
Yeah, I think Torres, I think definitely deserves to have a chance. I would love to see the back line get changed up a little bit and see what happens. Um, I'm thinking this one's going to be a 2-1 victory for Seattle. It's going to be a close one. Unfortunately, they're going to give up a goal. I just don't see the defense being able to pack it in against LA or against San Jose. Unfortunately, again, but I do think they're going to get 3 points and they're going to keep pace with Portland for the top spot in the West.
All right. Well, that's our predictions. We do want to talk a little bit about Raul Ruidiaz. He is the first major player in Cascadia to have come out and say he was diagnosed with COVID-19. Garth Lagaway came out and made the announcement, just confirming it and saying that he is asymptomatic. So that's all great news for him and his health. Hopefully, I mean, it's not all great news. It's bad news that he got it, but the fact that he's asymptomatic and getting healthy, that's good news to hear. Eddie, do you want to add anything to this saga that's just unfolding in front of us?
Yeah. From an article that I was looking at, they're saying that from the looks of it, he could be back by October 27th. So back for the match versus Vancouver in Portland. So that's something to look forward to for the Portland supporters. That means that he'll be missing uh, the home match versus Portland on October 22nd. So that means Portland, you get to miss out on Ruidiaz. So take that however you want. I know that he's been kind of the Portland villain as of late. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we get to see him on the 27th.
To go along with the Rui Diaz, kind of a side note, some people say the rumors were connected. Some people say they're not. The Sounders inquired about Canadian national team forward Kyle Larin. If you have followed the league long enough, you recognize that name. He was the rookie of the year with Orlando City. I don't have the year with me, but he's currently playing in Europe and I think Turkey. But that is a big name player, a big name striker. So people are kind of wondering what Seattle's goal is. Some people say Rui Diaz has COVID, but he's going to be back soon. It's not worth that big of a signing. Um, I don't know if you've read that article, Eddie, if you have any thoughts, but we'll keep it at that for now.
I did see the article. I didn't really go too in depth because usually with rumors, I am not totally convinced. You see so many rumors go around, um, and nothing ever happens. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. But it does make you think of how that lineup would look with him in the lineup. Would it still be just Rui Diaz up top, and then you keep this guy on the bench, or
But
do you put him in the field and maybe put both of them up top, and then have the risk of them clashing with each other up top?
see, that's why it doesn't make any sense because you think that the Sounders would be happy with the depth they have up top with Rui Diaz and Bruin. But who knows?
Yeah, my thoughts are if the Sounders were to pick up anything, um, I'm still not 100% convinced with the defense.
Yeah.
Obviously, now because I actually looked it up. I think they have 4
Four shutouts.
shutouts.
You can look it up. It's not pretty though. It's not Sounders soccer. You know Stephen Fry would like a lot more zeros across that back line.
Yeah, the fact that uh, they have that few shutouts, you would not think that they are sitting in first place in the Western
Yeah.
Conference.
Well, they've scored a crazy number of goals. So that's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think Seattle's going to crush them again. Also, if you have any thoughts on the Kyle Larin, I'd be curious to hear what you think about that.
For anyone that wants to watch the match, uh, in Seattle, it's going to be on Joe TV. Anyone in California, it's going to be on NBC Sports California, and anywhere else, it's going to be on ESPN Plus. Oh, and Amazon Prime Video. I should say that as well. So that's going to be our show. It's going to be, I think, a decent match for the Sounders. Hopefully, they can get the victory and keep the pressure on Portland for that top spot in the West. And as always, go Cascadia.